Hello! In this video, I'll be talking about how to get a driver license in Hong Kong based on my own past years of experiences, which finally led me to getting my license this month. I thought that this video will be especially helpful for foreign expats like me, who may be unfamiliar with the local news, gossips, and hurdles of getting a driver license in Hong Kong. Because if it weren't for the help of my local boyfriend, his family, and my friends, I would have had to wait another 8 months to retake the test and get my driver license. So if you don't live in Hong Kong, then this video is probably not for you. But if you would like to know some tips as a first learner driver, then please stay tuned for future videos. Because I will not only talk about the process of getting a driver license and some traffic regulations in Hong Kong, but also cover what personally helped me to pass my driving test, ranging from breathing exercise when you're nervous, what kind of clothes and shoes to wear, down to the very details. So let's finally dive in. If you're thinking about getting a driver license in Hong Kong and you're only 60 to 70 to 80% sure, I would still highly advise you to find your nearest Hong Kong School of Motoring, which is probably the biggest and the most reliable school out there in Hong Kong, to lock in your test date and book your classes.
Welcome to Vision Drive, your safe driving partner. Have a safe drive. Audio recording on.
The reasons are you need to at least wait a minimum of 1 year for the road test date. I'm originally from Korea, I have lived in the States, and I have a sister who drives in the States. And Hong Kong, compared to the rest of the world, takes a very long time. The second reason is many people fail their first road test, and it might easily take you another year to book the test date again. But I'll tell you a faster track in the future video. A lot of people failed for the first time because you are examined by extremely strict people from the Hong Kong government's transportation department. Third reason is often driving school instructors cannot be booked last minute. School needs enough time to schedule a good instructor for you depending on his or her availability, resources, especially since English-speaking instructors are harder to come by. They're rare. So you can roughly expect the timeline to be around 1 year or a little bit over. That is if you pass the driving test the first time. If not, you may have to wait another 6 months to a year. And like I said, I hope I can film another video explaining how to take fast track to getting an earlier test date. So let's go over the process in details. In order to apply for the driving lessons and tests, you first need to go to the school in person to apply and make the payment. And like I said, I think Hong Kong School of Motoring is really the best one out there. And I went to the one in Shatin branch because I live in Shatin. But I also heard from a lot of people, including my instructor, that the Shatin route is comparatively the easiest one in Hong Kong. My instructor also told me that there was another Korean girl like me who needed to retake her test. And she took the lessons and took the test in Happy Valley, but she was eager to pass the second time around, so she came all the way to the Shatin school to learn from him. The school accepts credit card payment, bring your Hong Kong ID, and a proof of residential address within the last 3 months. The payment that I made as of 2022 was 17,700 Hong Kong dollars in total. This accounts for 20 practical lessons and the road test session, 1 long distance driving, mock test part C, solo training, and for the lecture series, the medium of instruction is all in Cantonese. And as a foreigner, there's no point of me going, so I didn't need to pay. They also assured me that it wouldn't affect my passing of the road test. There's also pre-in-car training, in-car observation, which I didn't need to pay. So the recommended time frame is first go to school and apply, wait 2 to 3 months for your written test, and upon your passing of the written test, someone from the school will also call you to book your road test date. And you'll start your driving lessons usually 2 to 3 months before the road test date. So I applied at the school in September of 2022, took the written test in October. After I passed, school contacted me to arrange the road test date, which was arranged to be in October of 2023. So 1 year after the passing of my written test. And I started my driving lessons in July, 3 months before the test date. So in summary, the timeline of the road test is still quite far away from your passing of the written test date, from 6 months to a year. So that's why the school would recommend you to start your practical driving lessons 2 to 3 months before the road test so that it will be easier for you to recall what you learned. And please note that you need to have your valid learner driving license 1 month prior to the practical driving lessons. Otherwise, you cannot begin the driving lessons because you will be out on the road. And to get the driver license, you can find your nearest transport center. And I would highly recommend you to book through an online system before you go so that there's less queuing time. And then you can just get the license within a day. Bring along a proof of address within 2 months and $548 in cash. As you're applying, the school will give you a few learning handbooks. One which you will be using it to study for your upcoming written test. And the format of the test is done on a computer, a click-through multiple choice test. The school will help you to book your written test date. As for the dates of the driving lessons, it's between you and the instructor to decide. So I would suggest you to wait until you have his or her contact so that you can reach out and fix the date as soon as possible. The school will also ask you to download their HKSM app, where you'll be able to see all the booked dates for your lectures, orientation, test, and whatnot. It will also show you what lessons you have yet to book. And again, I definitely ran into some questions due to the confusing lesson names, so you can ask your instructor what each one is for and when is the best time frame to take it. But if you're eager to find out what they're for, I'll explain it in the future video, hopefully. Other than the app itself, the school will also send you personalized SMS reminders about the upcoming tests and lessons 2 days before. And before I end the video, shout out to Mr. Chen, a young officer, a kind gentleman at the school who speaks good English and was able to help me to resolve some of the issues that I was facing along the way. I also want to give a shout out to Mr. Ho, my second driving instructor, who taught me to prepare for the second test retake. If it weren't for both Mr. Chen and Mr. Ho, I would not be here where I am today, sitting in this car.